Hello, beautiful souls. Namaste. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana. I hope that you can join in the discussion tonight. This has been a little bit of a project, and I have to say that this project began long before the Alleyman Tarot ever came on to my table. So before I tell you about that, my name is Sadhana. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm a reader. I'm here on Tuesdays doing live readings. You can get complimentary readings on Tuesdays if you're around, and sharing decks, teaching lots of tarot things. I have a Lenormand series. One of my populars, there's actually a couple really popular series on my channel. One is the deck combo series and the card comparison series. And all of these playlists you can find on my channel page if you're interested. So welcome and thanks again for being here. So let me tell you a little bit about my journey with before the Alleyman Tarot. Toadstool Tarot, Richard. He was one of the first ones that I saw that created a tarot tag called Major Favorites. And my take on Major Favorites is linked down below, as are any of the videos that I'm mentioning. And Major Favorites was a tarot challenge where you go through the tarot decks in your collection and pull out 22 of your favorite cards, ideally from 22 different decks, but not everybody has that many decks, so was not able to do that. So that felt like a reasonable number of cards that most people could do. Now, before Richard posted this video, I had created a spreadsheet. I'm a little bit of a Excel nerd, and I have spreadsheets for everything. And I was making lists and lists of, I was trying to do 78 cards, 78 decks. So I would have 78 different cards from 78 different decks. And eventually I did pull this off. And this was before the Alleyman came into my hands. And so I have to say that I am in awe of this experience and the amount of work that went into creating this deck. So for those of you that don't know of this deck, this is the box that it comes in. It's called the Alleyman's Tarot. It's like a matchbox with the matchbox strike on the side. That's why there's a match on the thumbnail. And this tarot deck was the most backed, greatest funded tarot deck ever on Kickstarter. It kind of went wild. It went crazy. There was so much attention for this deck. It took a little while to come into being, but what ended up coming into our hands was an enormous number of cards, many, many more than 78 cards. And in this collection, you are challenged really to create and choose 78 cards to put together for your version of the Alleyman deck. And one of the things here, this is hilarious, this guidebook. Oh my goodness. It's just it's right up there with Bakara Wintner's What the Fuck is Tarot. This is real, and that word is also used in this book as well too. The only rule with this deck is that you use the cards. And one of the things he talks about is that we're going to go through and I'll show you the cards that he would use. And I can't find it here, but I'm just going to paraphrase. And that is, it would be so boring if I was looking at your version of the Alleyman Tarot and it was the same as mine. So the intention here is to have fun with this and to create your own tarot deck. Now, the beauty and the work that has gone into this is that, so when I did this exercise, of course, all of the cards were different sizes because they're from, different creators and different decks. And so what we have here in the Alleyman is all of these cards have been reformatted and resized so that they fit together, and it is a cohesive tarot deck, and all the cards are one size. And also what makes this really fun is that the deck creator retained all of the original card backs. So it's so very cool. This was just a really cool project. And so tonight and next week, I'm going to share with you some of the cards from the Alleyman. And I have also purchased three of the decks. There were certain cards in this deck that inspired me to purchase the complete deck in my low buy year. So eventually I will share those with you as well too. So good evening. Welcome to Evangelina and Christina. And I hope you can join in this Alleyman conversation. Okay. And I'm in no rush here. If this does take more than 2 episodes, we will do that. Okay. So these are my 22 majors that I've chosen that are stacked here. And I will endeavor to do my best to tell you if they are from a deck, what deck they are from. However, I might not be that speedy. All right, so on the left is the Fool card, the suggested Fool card. Actually, I'm going to do this so you can see. I know there's going to be shadow here. Hi, Helen. And in the collection of cards, I think also too, if you don't know this deck, there is quite an extensive description for each of the cards. And as well, we know the origin of the card, if it came from a tarot deck or if the tarot deck was, if it's not from a tarot deck, because there are several cards in this collection of cards that are not from a tarot deck. This particular Fool was made by Melissa Gall, and it's from the Rubber Ducky Tarot, and it was published on tumblr.com, so I don't actually think the deck was indeed published. Now, what I've done, for most of them anyways, I've actually written on these cards, and at the bottom here it says page 208, so that will give you an idea of how many cards are in this deck. And so this is the card I chose for the Fool. I just thought it was a really, really fun card. And this comes from a tarot deck called the Cyberpunk Tarot. So I thought that was kind of fun. There's lots of possibilities here for a Fool card. And I was really intrigued with this card here. I believe this is one of the Black Moon cards. Yes, it says up here, Black Moon. And when I was thinking of this for a Fool card, I was thinking of diving into the abyss. And it kind of gave me when I think of the abyss, I think of the Marielle Tarot. The other notion here too is that the Black Moon, the new moon, is associated with new beginnings. And so this was another one that I thought was definitely a possibility. Magician. So the Magician card that the creator had in his 78 is this particular Magician, which was just way too creepy for me. And I chose this very, very cute Magician. I think it's from one of the Buddha tarots, and I can't even read my number on the back. But I don't know that I could do a whole deck with this particular style. And I think that's kind of a fun part of playing with the Alleyman Tarot, is that you get to pick, your favorites and put them together. So this Fool, no, this is the Magician. I don't know how easy this is going to be, so please bear with me. And if this gets too frustrating, you'll have to skip forward and back if you're watching the replay. Yeah, I should have put little stickies on them. Okay. When we come, maybe next week, I will also, I'll endeavor to put little stickies on them so we can see better. And that's actually number 110. Oh my goodness. But this one kind of intrigues me, so I think this one is worthwhile pausing for. No, that's the wrong page number. Okay. If we find it later, we will get to it. Let's go to the High Priestess. So this is the High Priestess that I chose, and this is one of the extra cards. And the High Priestess, so this is another thing you need to know about this deck. So there is the basic deck, and then I believe there are 5 booster packs. 5 booster packs. So when I ordered my Kickstarter, I believe I ordered one of the booster packs, and then later on, I ordered the other 4 booster packs. So now I have all of the Alleyman cards. This is the card that was originally in the original version of the deck. This is from the Gold Star Tarot. Reminds me a little bit of the Marigold Tarot. This is another one, and you know what this reminds me of, and it's not, but of the Ostara Tarot. And if you really want to know what deck some of these cards are from, and I didn't do a good job of organizing this tonight, make sure you come back and in the comments below, describe the card, and I will tell you what deck it's from. Okay, so hi Tammy Ann, welcome. So yeah, so that is the High Priestess. Now the Empress. I stuck with the Empress card that he chose, and this is from one of the cat tarots. This is actually no, this is the Neurotic Owl Tarot. I really liked this one, and there were, I believe this was the only extra card, and there was something very kind of weird about this Empress card, so I didn't select this one. I also want to point out that Gerald Tarot Stash and Jamie and maybe Beneficial Ben, I'm trying to remember who the third person was, did a walkthrough of this deck, and they each shared the card that they chose for their 78 cards. And later on, I will come back and I will add this. I'll add this to the mix. This is the Emperor card, and it is the only Emperor card, as far as I know, that could possibly be in this position. Ooh, this was another one I thought about maybe for the High Priestess. This one's called the Night Owl. I'm sure there's going to be lots of discombobulation in this video. Oh, I want to go back. I can do that because this is my video. Let's go back. High Priestess, because I have a couple other cards here. This one, which is called Weird Ass Mystical Shit, I thought this could also really appeal to somebody as a High Priestess card. There was just something there. Yeah. Okay. Shall we go on? Empress. Emperor. So this Emperor card, you know, I don't have any Ciro Marchetti decks. And this looks like it comes from that, but it doesn't. And this is not actually from, as far as I can tell, no, this is not from a tarot deck. This Emperor was made by Kollapsar, Kollapsir. It's pretty powerful, and unfortunately there was no other options for the Emperor. Hierophant, hands down. This one here, which is called The Tradition, love the name The Tradition, was the one that I chose for this. This is page 127. This one here, which is Tarot de Marseille. There was a couple Hierophant cards actually that were Tarot de Marseille style. There was that one and this one, and I didn't choose either of those. but the one that I did chose reminds me a little bit of the Hierophant card from New Era Elements. It has the flavor of I don't know, some of my favorite Hierophant cards. Now, this card, and I want to say many of the cards that are included in this ginormous box, were created by the Alleyman himself. And who is the Alleyman? Who is the Alleyman is a really good question. His name is Seven Dane Asmund. Seven Dane Asmund. And his publishing company is called Publishing Goblin. So I'm going to refer to him as the Alleyman, but I believe his name is Seven. Okay, Seven Dane. There we go. So a super, super creative soul. Now, this Lover's card, there weren't a lot of choices for the Lover cards. And the one that was put in the original 78 was this one, which was, again, way, way too dark for me. And yeah, I just didn't quite know what to do with that card. And I do reserve the right to switch this up as I start working with the deck, because I am planning to actually try to do some readings with my 78 cards. This Lover's card was made by Peony Coin Archer for the Little Monsters Tarot. And I know this was a favorite tarot deck for a lot of people. And I don't have the Little Monsters Tarot. The Chariot card. The Chariot card. Here's another Chariot. This is from the OK Tarot by Adam J. Kurtz. And it's really interesting. When I was watching Gerald and Jamie and Ben, I believe this is the card that Jamie chose for the Chariot, which is kind of interesting. None of these really, I find them all kind of challenging. So yeah, let's go on to Strength. Ooh, okay. So Strength. I have this deck, and I want to say very few of the decks that are included in the Alleyman do I own. And this is the one that was in the original 78. This is one of the Strength cards from, I don't think I have that number handy, but it feels like a historical deck. Pre-Tarot de Marseille. And I will let you know if we come to that page where it is. The Hermit card, not a lot of options again. And this is the one that's in the front of the book. Yes. And the Hermit card, I kind of like this one. Comes from Ariadne's Thread Tarot. And some of these tarot decks I have looked up. Hello, Wild Sunshine. Welcome. I have looked up and to see, if they're available and you can purchase them. And some of them really intrigue me. And this is one that also really intrigues me. Now, this particular card, which is an alley, is a card that I believe Gerald or Jamie chose for the Hermit. And I think there's something also to be said for this card as a Hermit. So it's actually an exhausting project going through and trying to choose 78 cards to work with. So I will let you know how this goes, and I'll try to be better organized for next week. So I have little stickies on the cards. I absolutely love this wheel. Oh my God, this wheel. I have to look up this particular deck. That's 205. And I don't know, it might seem to you like defacing the cards, writing on the cards. And Gerald did this. I don't know if he wrote on the front, but I just had to do this because I could not There's no way that I could deal with this without writing on the cards. This particular card is not from a tarot deck. So the Alleyman, I'm assuming, has taken the artwork and then in this case, and there was a couple, I think one or two before that, and then created it and made it look like a tarot card. So just brilliant, brilliant artwork for me. All right, Justice. Justice is the Vindur Tarot, and I believe, isn't this terrible? I believe I've actually ordered this deck. I was very intrigued, love the card backs. And so I believe this one is on its way. I went to the website and looked at multiple cards, and I just found it really intriguing. So you may, if I'm right with that, you may see a walkthrough of the Vindur. And I know one of you knew this deck. I don't know if any of you are working with this one, but yeah, this is an alternate Justice card. Okay. Now the Hanged Man. What did I choose for the Hanged Man? Believe it or not, I used the Blood Moon Tarot, which, as you know, I have passed on. It's not a tarot deck I was able to work with, but I much prefer this particular Hanged Man to the one that was suggested on the left. You know, it reminds me a little bit of, I think it's in the Spacious Tarot, where the Hanged Man is the moon, and you're looking to the moon in the distance. So anyway, I can deal with one card from the Blood Moon Tarot. I know a lot of you love that deck. Okay. The Vindur Tarot is awesome. The artist is from Iceland, and Vindur means wind. Ah, well, thank you for that. Okay. All right. I know one of you commented on that before. I think these are just great, great card backs. Okay, so death. Oh my God. So I think death is a joke in this deck. There are so many, many death cards that a person would not know what in the world to choose. I'm going to very slowly go through the death card options. This is not from a tarot deck, and this is Stubborn Death. And the Alleyman has little nicknames for all of these. This is Rebirth Death. This is not from a tarot deck. This is Death by Fire, created by the Alleyman. This is Blood Death, again, not from a tarot deck. The one that I chose was in the book, and I think this is hilarious. This was made by Lost Vegas, and again, not from a tarot deck. So I thought that was, it's death. It's the Motel Death card, obviously. And then we have Dancing Death, which is from the Oracle of Dames. And then we have Riding Death. This is how many death cards there are here. So I want to say that Seven Dane Asmund is obsessed with death cards. And we have Sowing Death. This one's referred to as Shovel. And a lot of these are not from tarot decks. Okay. And then there's more. In the extra cards, there is even more. There's this cute little one. If death can be cute. And this one. So an abundance of death cards. Ooh, you know what? I'm really looking forward to seeing this deck. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. More conversation about the Vindor. Oh, it is a tough shuffle. I have a feeling that the Alleyman, um, it's just, some people have a favorite card, and perhaps this is one of the cards he was collecting. It was his intention at some point to create a tarot deck, and this is, yeah, just obsessed with death cards. Then we have Temperance, and this was a tricky one for me. This is the one that was suggested. We have this very bizarre card with all the snakes down at the penis. I'll try to get to that at the back of the book. I think that's it. So again, Temperance, there wasn't much of a choice. Hi, Lisa. No, I'm not doing readings. I'm just walking through a tarot deck tonight. Yeah. 15. Okay, so let's get to 15. The Devil. I'm going to take those out of the way. The Devil. All right. So in the book, this is the Devil that was in the original 78. And this Devil was made by Finsterwalds. Again, not from a tarot deck. So, it's really interesting. Like this deck creator has been collecting art, not just tarot cards, for a long time. Can you imagine what the inside of his office or his tarot room looks like? This is a card, an extra card from the back of the deck. And I think this is kind of a potentially brilliant devil card. And this is one that I may substitute right away. And if you're interested, I will. I'd like to talk about this card, the Wild Hunt. Ooh, I found the Devil with the Snake for Dicks. Let me go back. So we all are on the same page. I moved these out of the way. Where did they go? Here, this card. So it has the number 14 on it, but he calls this one the Devil with a Snake for Dicks. The devil is the trustee of the British Museum. Imagine being this fine with having your junk out, and also your junk is several snakes. Truly incredible. So this is actually not from a tarot deck. Now, why did he put the number 14 instead of the number 13 on it? I have no idea. No idea. Okay. So we're at the Devil, right? Okay. So now we're going to go to the Tower. The Tower is also a card that there were a lot of options. Okay. Uh-oh, what is going on? Oh, I know. I need to go back. Saying, where was I? Where was I in the book? It's an amazing little book. He's done so much work with this. So this was the original one that was in the original 78. And then within the original 70, he had quite a few extra cards in the front as well, too. And this was one that was a potential Tower card. It's called the Horizon. Revelation comes with enlightenment, not disaster. Fear you held in the night seems to be insignificant in the day. Your problems are clear by their long shadows. And then there's a few other extra cards that I think could be the tower as well too. This is one called the Builder. And this reminds me a little bit of some of the like the steampunk tarot cards. You know, there's just it's just like we build, we build, we build, we create, we create, we create, and at the end we don't know what the creation is supposed to do. You know, it just gets overbuilt. And then there's this one, and this one to me I think could be a tower card as well too. It was called Deconsecration. This is the one that Jamie chose. So we have the tower, right? So this is a computer. Very specific look at the tower. So I'm gonna stick with this one here. Okay. And then going to the star, this is an extra card. I think it's really beautiful. Reminds me a little bit of the journey. And this is the star card that was in the original 78. And it's, I don't know if you can see the actual, okay, yeah, there you go. You see the magenta? It's actually really kind of pretty. This star card, I should be able to find. It's at the very beginning of the extra cards. And I will just let you know where this one comes from. Yes, this is from Four Mindscapes, a Tarot Panorama by John Rice. So this one's actually from a tarot deck. Oh, I found that Magician card. Let me go back. And I know I looked up this one too, but I knew that there was no way that I could do a whole deck with this theme. This one here. So this is from the Little Buddha Tarot. The Little Buddha Tarot. Okay. So there we are at star. And then moon. You all know where this one's from. This is not the one that was suggested. This is an extra card. The moon card that was in the front of the deck is really, it's kind of bizarre. So we have four hands. There's handcuffs. Two are pointing down, two are pointing up. We see like the Tower of Pisa on the left. This is a real collage card. We see the pyramids on the right. It would be a very interesting card to sit and to contemplate. This moon card was made by Patrick Sparger for the Fox's Wedding Tarot. And if you don't know this, this is the Playful Heart Tarot. All right, and then the Sun. The Sun. Okay, this is an extra card. This is the Sun that was in the original 78. No, both of these cards were included. Both of these cards were at the front. So the Sun as a sigil and the Sun as the alpaca. And the alpaca Sun comes from the Alpaca Tarot. I had no idea there was an Alpaca Tarot. So yeah. It would be fun actually to have the Sigil Tarot. So this is from a tarot deck. I don't know if any of you have the Sigil Tarot. That might be kind of educational for me anyway. It would be a study deck. And then we go to Judgment. Judgment. So in the original 78 was this card here. This is an extra card that I chose, and I thought this was really powerful. You know, this has a kind of Six of Swords feel to it, but I really like the idea of portals, and you do get that portal feeling with that Judgment card. There's something about the artwork in this one that I really like, and I don't know if I can find it for you and tell you what it's from. Sorry about that. But again, if you want to know what it is, make sure you come back and comment below, and I will endeavor to tell you what it's from. Okay, because all of the cards, including all the extra packs, are in this amazing guidebook. Now there's a couple other extra judgment cards. This is another sigil card that I thought could work as a judgment card. As well, there is this one. And then, you know how a lot of decks have like a moth of some sort or other as a judgment card? So I thought that might make something really interesting. Yeah. Kind of intriguing. And then we get to the world. So I stuck with the card that was included in the original 78. And there is a very intriguing world card in the extra pack, and that is it. It's also another holographic card. And I will see if I can find this one for you. If not, I will come back to it. I'll try to keep these in order and then come back. So yeah, so those are the major arcana, the ones that I'm going to work with, and then some of the extra cards. Okay. So I'm going to put those over there. And now we're going to go to the cups. And I want to show you what I did. So I have access to, so in the box, so I have cards. So this is major arcana. This is cups. So here are the cup cards that I am not, oops, you can't see. Here's the cup cards that I'm not using. And there's the wand cards I'm not using. There's the sword cards, an abundance of sword cards. So many sword cards in this deck. And then extra cards. And I'm also in the process of trying to make a Lenormand deck. So I have pulled out quite a few cards to create a Lenormand deck. And if I get that done, I will show you my Alleyman Lenormand. Because I think that is coming together really nicely. Garden Blooms Tarot. Hello to Michelle. Welcome. That is you, right? Please confirm if it's not Michelle. All right, so now we're going to go to cups. And I know I have cups handy. I know I do. There's wands. Oh, I have to get the cups that are here. Okay. Whew. This was not the Ace of Cups. This is an extra card. The Ace of Cups that was suggested is this one. And that is from the Tarot Morandi. And the fountain, I believe, is not from a tarot deck. But I really like this card. I love that kind of overflowing water energy. The fountain. Okay, so that's one of those ones we'll have to come back to. Also, I wondered about this. Now, this, of course, was not intended as an Ace of Cups. What happens if the fountain froze? Oh, this is the box. This is the box that the deck came in. So the deck, the Alleyman Tarot, here, I'll show you. Just let me pause here. The Alleyman Tarot came in this huge box. And so I'm just using the box that the deck came in, and I can store all of the cards here. So what I'm intending to do is to to put my 78 in a bag. Well, for now, they're going to be over here in my rack. And then all the extra cards will remain in that box in my tarot cabinet. That's my plan. Okay. All right. So I just had this little contemplation about, whoa, frost, because water takes many forms. It's not always flowing. So I was thinking about this card as potentially the ace of water. Maybe a little bit bizarre, but yeah. Okay, so Two of Cups is very Rider-Waite Smithish, and that is the only option. What have we got going here? And then Three of Cups. I'm just going to turn those over so you don't get confused. And Three of Cups, there is only one option. Three of Cups is from the Anya Boz deck. And I believe Four of Cups is another one where there's only one option. And this is not from a tarot deck. So it's really interesting to see which cards he really nerded out on and which other ones not so much. I love this Five of Cups, and I have a feeling that this is one of the decks that I have ordered. This is the Five of Cups. I'm going to just turn this over. This is the Five of Cups that was suggested in the original 78. And this is not from a tarot deck. But this, I believe, is from the Architect's Tarot. Yes, all of the boosters fit in the box. All of the boosters fit in there. Everything fits in there. So it's quite incredible. And I believe, at least I researched this and I tried to order it. I'm not sure. But I did some research. I was very, very intrigued with this particular card. Yeah, so those are the backs of the Architect's Tarot. So I know I did some work in looking up that one. And then this bizarre Six of Cups was the Yokai Yochi Tarot. And I know I have seen this tarot deck before, but that's the Six of Cups. This Seven of Cups is an extra card. I believe it's not the one that was suggested as a card. This is the Seven of Cups. So this one is from an Atea deck. This one, I think, is really brilliant. I love the reflection of the dragonfly. It's kind of cool. That really appeals to me as a Seven of Cups. Yeah. And I'll do my best to let you know where that one is from. Now, the Eight of Cups. Where did the Eight of Cups go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. So kind of a bizarre card, and I could not find another one to substitute. So here's an idea. What I could do with the cards that I don't necessarily like, I'm wondering if I can substitute a card from another deck. So this is a standard playing card size. So if I wanted to substitute an Eight of Cups that I resonate with, or a favorite Eight of Cups that is printed on a standard size tarot card, then I could substitute that in here. And I think that is taking this deck to a whole new level. You know what I mean? Like, the Alleyman would be really happy if you actually put in more cards. So I think that would be kind of cool. All right, let's go on. Nine of Cups. Oh, that was another seven. That's in my 7 of Cups pile. Okay. I love this one. I really do. I like this one. This is from the Tarot Chino de Boulogne. The Tarot Chino de Boulogne. I love the simplicity of that artwork. I really do. And then 10 of Cups. And again, this really appeals to me. And I do not believe it's from a tarot deck. And if it were from a tarot deck, I would definitely research this one and have a look for it. This 10 of Cups was made by Enrica Prazzoli. And there is a link to the deck creator's artwork, but unfortunately it's not from a tarot deck. Yeah. And that crazy card over on the left. Oh my God. This 10 of Cups was made by Sean Auberg for the Tarot Goblin Co. Like Goblin with KO on the end. Oh, glorious joy and drunken debauchery, having so much to have yourself while also having so much to give to others. The 10 of Cups is a luxurious and ridiculous overabundance. This can be the realization of all your hard work and inheritance or just happenstance. But in any case, it is now here and for you to enjoy. So yeah, it's, I don't think I could work with that card. But anyway. Let's finish off this suit. I used this Joker for the Page of Cups. I just felt that the energy was so sweet. I love this. Seems to me like a younger mermaid. Quite a, yeah. So I'm gonna work with this card as the Page of Cups. Christina, the artists contributed. So the artists sent him the artwork for one card, and their deck, their work is definitely credited in this extensive guidebook. Yeah. And as the project was going on, he received more submissions than he could manage. And in the end, just had to cut it off because he had way too much to work with. And then the Knight of Cups. This is the Golden Lyre Tarot. Oh, here's another page. There's another page. And then we have Queen and King of Cups. And these are the ones from the original suggestion. The Queen of Cups was from the Flights of Fantasy Tarot. I'm surprised I've never seen this deck. This is kind of intriguing. And then the King, oops, here, let me get that out of the way. The King of Cups from the Tarot de Marseille. I'm not sure which rendition. So yeah, so those are the majors and the cups. And then perhaps next week, what we can do is I'll try to have the pages marked and referenced, so I can share with you where each of these cards is from. Yeah. And you know, some of them are just amazing. Like when I look at these, like my High Priestess, I'm just looking at the guidebook right now. Like this High Priestess was made by Madeline McLaughlin for the New Immortals Tarot. And I know I took some time to research this deck as well too, but this is like a fantastic card from this deck. And again, it was one that I thought, no, I can't. I wouldn't use that. So yeah, so I think he's just done an incredible, I'll zoom out and I'll show you the guidebook just before I sign off here. Um, does anybody in the chat have this deck? Okay, so this is at the back of the book because we're in the booster pack section here at the back. And so he has created a description. So remember, this one is not a tarot card. This is an artwork that he loved and he created a tarot card. So he has a description and then all the artwork is credited in this section here. So I can tell you a little bit more if you're interested. So there's a preamble, of course. So you have your first 78 cards. And then he goes into the suit of cups. So I was doing this in the order that it is presented. And so there is the suit of cups, the traditional suits, but he also has an extra suit. And so in this deck, that's the first card. That's the Ace of Hounds. So we have 5 suits plus the majors plus an abundance of extra cards. So it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. So what this is going to, like for next week, I'm going to try to finish this up and finalize it, get all my cards numbered, put little stickies on them so I can share with you things that I didn't quite have organized for today. So thank you for your patience. And we'll carry on with this conversation next week. And let me know if there's any particular cards this week that I kind of glossed over that you want me to go back and share again. Okay? Have a lovely rest of your evening. And for those of you that are in the Facebook group at 6 o'clock, I will be live in the Facebook group. Take good care. Lovely having you here. Namaste.